You were pilloried this week about the third anniversary of not only the Abbey Gate tragedy, but also Friday is going to mark the third anniversary of the fall of our withdrawal. You've been criticized quite a bit by conservatives, Republicans, and Trump yesterday. You saw that. I wanted to get what is the perspective of Pentagon leadership at this point, 3 years later, to the criticisms? The word chaotic is the most widely used adjective to describe it. 3 years later, what's the perspective here in terms of how you guys view what happened?
Yeah, thanks, Tony. Well, as I'm sure you can appreciate, I'm not going to be able to comment on any remarks from any political candidates. But separately, Secretary Austin has spoken many times about the withdrawal from Afghanistan and his pride in the tremendous work of the men and women of the U.S. military. So I would point you to some of his previous statements, to include in April of 2023, which reads in part, and if you just allow me here, quote, "Over the course of 20 years of war in Afghanistan, our service members and their families served bravely, selflessly, and with compassion. As the Secretary of Defense and as a veteran of the Afghanistan war, I am proud of and deeply grateful for the men and women who stood up to serve after al-Qaeda attacked us on September 11, 2001. We remember the 2,461 American service members and personnel who made the ultimate sacrifice in this war. Even on the hardest days, including August 26, 2021, when we tragically lost 13 of our finest, our force performed admirably under incredibly challenging conditions," end quote. And in regards to the withdrawal, he's also underscored that no other military in the world could have accomplished what we and our allies and partners did in such a short time span, and that this is a testament not only to our forces' capabilities and courage, but also to our relationships and the capabilities of our allies and partners.
Hunting down the perpetrators, the enablers of the Abbey Gate attack. Chris Meyer, your commando chief, talked to reporters on Friday, and he talked a little bit about how the network was degraded. But from the podium, can you give a feel for that? President Biden said at the time, "We will hunt you down." So what's the status of the hunt today?
Yeah. Well, as Assistant Secretary of Defense Meyer highlighted, we are laser focused on defending our citizens from terrorist threats that could emanate from Central Asia or anywhere else around the globe. We know that we can't turn a blind eye to the threats from organizations such as ISIS-K, and that we must keep a relentless focus on counterterrorism, and we're doing that. We have and continue to invest in and deploy modern capabilities to keep Americans safe. We're working closely with the intelligence community, as well as to deepen our cooperation with allies and partners to address evolving threats. I know that Mr. Mayor addressed this as well in terms of how we've been able to foil plots and disrupt terrorist networks, to include ISIS-K, by sharing information and intelligence and enabling allied and partner nations to be the ones conducting arrests or taking actions. And you've seen that demonstrated here recently with some high-profile news coverage of a foiled terrorist plot in Europe, for example. But we've also demonstrated our ability to reach anywhere in the world when there is a threat, including in Central Asia or in the Middle East. We've shown that we will not hesitate to take action to keep America safe, as evidenced by CENTCOM's recent strike in Syria, which killed the senior leader of an al-Qaeda associated group. Thank you very much. Janie.